We're going to have beeps in the background. Bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran player. Guys, let's do this. It is Pure from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Taking on the upper left, red Protoss from Alpha X. This is Zoun. As we get this up and ready to go. Best of 3, last best of 3 of the tournament. After this, it's a best of 5 lower bracket finals. It's a best of 5 grand final as well. 3 series remain today. We're 3 hours deep on the stream. Let's see what else we can get done as we get this one off and away. Guys, I'm hyped. You guys have got me hyped. I was hyped about my new tournament announcement, and then you guys are hyped about it. Oh. Sometimes you just got to make excited noises, you know? Sometimes life just calls on excited noises to come out of your mouth, whether it makes sense or not. Probe of Zoun makes its way down to the bottom right-hand side. I'm going to hop up into the main base. And we settle down a little bit. You know, the early game is not quite as exciting as the last 10 minutes on the stream. It's not quite. But it will be exciting. Give it a few minutes. Zoun's been playing some pretty freaking good Starcraft too. He loves the aggressive openings in PvT especially. Loving those blink openings, loving those 4 gates with that, loving those dark shrines. That's what I think of when I see Zoun in PvT at the moment. Specifically 4 gate blink definitely seems like the one he likes to go to the most. That definitely seems like the one we kind of see the most of. And it's just going to be seen. Our probe going to escape out over the left-hand side. The subscriber beeping is going to stop roughly when WardiTV Summer is announced. Yo, Alessio, thank you for gifting the sub to Fat Guy with Flabs. Whoa. It's almost like you gifted it to me. Hashtag lockdown, quarantine wait. Feels bad, man. Lol. Sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself, guys. Sometimes you gotta accept life. Hey, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Yo. Yeah, the beeping will stop when the Wardy Summer is announced. Yeah. Well, that's your new job, guys. Keep it going until the summer tournament's ready. Alrighty. You want more excited Wardy noises? Yeah, well, this is exciting. Stargate and stuff, that Twilight I'm talking about. So Zoun's gonna play something a bit different. Probably gonna see Phoenix, I want to say. Yeah, no, Yo, Gazwell, thank you so much for the 555 bits as well. Says, thanks for organizing this tourney. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, more Wardy excited noises. Sorry, I'm getting like, I'm in like 4 different places in my head at the same time right now. I'm like, ooh, Stargate. I'm like, ooh, bits. I'm like, ooh, Wardy noises. And I'm also like, I'm also just like in WardiTV Summer Championship. I'm like, ooh, what could we do then? Well, I'm all over the place. Wow, my head's like a buzz. Right, okay, cool. It's Phoenix on the way. I said something right at least. We got something correct. It is going to be Phoenix on the way through. As you do see it heading down to the bottom right-hand side. Yeah, and Comrade Alexi, thank you for the 2-month Prime sub as well. So yeah, Phoenix of Zoun is making its way out down the bottom side here. You're going to see this Reaper hanging around on the right. And the Phoenix goes straight across the map as well, so this is not just going to bank up and wait for a Widowmine drop, although maybe he should have done that first. Phoenix won't go down to the Widowmine he eats a shot from, but he will take some damage. So now he's low HP forever, an easy target when it comes to a fight. Just a little advantage from Cure. Obviously doesn't cost Cure anything, a Widowmine that fires, but that's about it. Yo guys, these subs are still coming in. Holy crap, Lemony Tang on the Prime and Lekio SE2 gonna gift out to Greyhound and Whippets 2018. Thank you so much as well. Holy crap, guys. They just aren't stopping. Hashtag Wardy noises. I mean, I still have the Wardy Void Ray noise. But we've not really seen any Void Rays to whack the Wardy Void Ray noise onto. Maybe we need the Wardy Excited soundboarded as well. I mean, I should have done it at the time. I can't repeat it, you know. Things have calmed down a little bit at this point. Alright, Robo Facility's on the way up on the natural expansions. So you're all going to see, I mean, just Phoenix into Robo. Third base, probably going to see Colossus, right? When you go Phoenix like this, typically on the Robo, you then start to talk about Colossi and so on. And it's just going to be seeing a couple Phoenix going to come out down the bottom left-hand corner. Engineering bays and barracks continue to build, and yeah, third CC is going to be on the way into that main base as well as Phoenix intercepts. A couple units on this bottom side, early game units that don't really mean all that much at this stage. The medevac drop is still around, by the way, over on the right-hand side of the map as well. So, still has that alive, and when you see the Phoenix down here, I'm kind of surprised those Widowmines haven't made a move already. Because he knew the Phoenix were down here from the Hellion that got picked off, right? So, yeah, kind of surprised that the Widow Mines haven't made themselves known about just yet. This drop hasn't come into fruition. As, we'll see, it's still just kind of hanging around. I mean, Zoun's got to have an idea that it's probably a drop on the map as well, right? At the moment, you know? Phoenix is going to come up the top. Here comes our first Widow Mine behind the third base. Going to go for the second one behind the natural expansion. So burrowing these up. Phoenix going to get the lift up over here. That is going to be one Widow Mine taken down. Now going to jump these Phoenix onto the Medevac. So a bit more damage to be done in that one. Medevac will fall. And our extended thermal lance continues on through from Zoun. So again, that extended thermal lance up and running. Colossus coming in. Twilight Council on the way as well. So all of this getting ready to go right now is just going to be seeing here with the units collecting together out the front. Going to see a couple of these Widow Mines going to make their way out and around the right side of the map. It's going to keep on trying to drop here. Brave when you're up against the Phoenix, but to be fair, the Phoenix going to want to be patrolling the edges of the map to catch Medevacs? Absolutely not. They want to be out here trying to find some damage, maybe pick off reinforcements, keep track of this army. When you're going to play Phoenix Colossus, tracking this army with the Phoenix is one of their main jobs. It's one of the things they really continue to watch out for here. As they come back around over the right-hand side, and just going to be seeing the charge already starting up on the Twilight. +1 attack is on the way on that Forge as well. And there's a few of these SCVs start to go down, so a little bit of a few pickoffs here from Zoun. And a little bit of damage done as our Bio Army of Cure pulls back out over to the left. Widow Mines do get back in here, and that's going to be a couple of probes picked off. So again, 3 workers going down. And the Widow Mines continue to do well. Why would you try a drop when you know he's got Phoenix? Because you can still work around the Phoenix, right? And now you've dropped Widow Mines in the base. The Phoenix come back home to hunt a Medevac, so they're not on the map harassing. And it was still a successful Widow Mine drop, right? You can play drops against Phoenix. Obviously, you can't play like bio drops against Phoenix really easily, because if you load up a Bio Force, it's very committed in those Medevacs. If you're just Widow Mine dropping, you can play it around where the Phoenix are at. Typically, they're not going to survive for a second round of attack anyway at this stage of the game. And you can just kind of play around your opponent and the knowledge of your opponent, basically. So yeah, I don't mind the... It's one of those things where I don't disagree. Like, if you load up all these units right now and drop the main base, I think Cure's crazy. But for a Widow Mine drop, I think it's very allowable to go a Widow Mine drop in against the Phoenix play. I think it's fine. You know, these depots coming down out the front of the third base. You're going to be seeing the Phoenix just patrolling away to the side. A couple of Archons coming through. The +1 attack upgrade on that Forge. You got a couple extra gates coming down as well. Robo facility in the natural expansion. And this Bio Army of Cure settling down over on the far left. Medevac's going to load up. A couple of Marines going to get into them. And just getting ourselves settled and ready to perhaps go out across the other side here. He's trying to pick up like a... He dropped a Marine to try and pick up the Marauder instead, and then he actually didn't get the Marauder. It ran away. And then he had to go back. He went back and picked up the Marine, and there was no space in the freaking... There's no space in the freaking Medevac for the Marauder again. Why do I find that so funny? I don't know. I'm in a bit of a crazy mood. You guys just gonna have to live with it. Yeah, again, he knows the Phoenix are here, right? So in this case, it's actually not so bad to do this. I'm assuming this is mostly just a move across the map position, right? He is gonna drop into the base. He puts himself right behind this mineral line, and then I'm surprised. Because this is the sort of position you only get out of by lifting. And then the Phoenix should be able to clean this up, but the Phoenix are still on the left, so they're not doing much yet. 6 workers go down. Continues to fight through. I mean, this is pretty much everything falling, though. And did he get much more than 6 workers? Not sure how good that really was. Okay, now I'm genuinely surprised. I think Cure's expecting these Phoenix to be flying over here to clean up these Medevacs, but they aren't. They're actually still just standing here, so Zoun is not going to go and chase those down at all. He is not going to sit and chase those down at all, as these other couple Medevacs going to come back through the top. Ghost Academy is on the way from Cure into the main base. Again, extra Vikings coming through. The 2-2 upgrades on the way out. Cure is going to end up unloading a few of these bio units out on the far left-hand side. And we do have a Dark Shrine of Zoun in the back of this natural expansion. Getting that Dark Shrine up and running. These 6 extra Zealots coming through. Blink is on the way. And Zoun is just going to go patrolling around this left-hand side. So here we go. Bio Army around the right, looking for a push into this group of Zealots here. It's actually kind of nice catch. Making sure that Zoun doesn't get much harassment on the map. Zoun, honestly, I feel like is fairly comfortable in this position, though. Like, yeah, again, contained a little bit. Terran's kind of here and there, but he's getting to an army composition that I know Zoun is very happy to play. You know, he's getting to this point where he's got Colossi, he's going to have Disruptors. He's on his way to getting those Blink DTs as well, and Zoun has shown us a lot of PvT games where he's very apt at this stage of the game, so I don't think he's all too worried that, you know, Q's putting on pressure and that Q's keeping him pinned back. Q's also happy to play the later game, though. He's adding on Vikings, he's adding on Ghosts, and he's not overextending with any of these drops, right? Maybe that one that dropped in here was maybe an overextension slightly. Overall, he's still trading fine, though. I don't think it was that bad. That was the craziest he got, and it's not like he dropped there and then dropped somewhere else and then dropped again. He's not being eager to end the game off these drops. He's happy and okay with it, taking a little while longer, being forced to tech up and playing the later game situation. I do have these 2 extra Stargates building on the side of this main. Observer coming up here, and just going to be seeing our Shadow Stride already coming through on the Dark Shrine. Gravitic Drive coming up from Zoun at the moment as well. It's getting that Gravitic Drive ready to rumble. Just giving that Prism speed and make harassment a little better. If you lose your Prism, getting it back across the map is going to be a little bit more easily done. In fights, it's actually kind of nice to have as well, being able to pull it back easily, but then back into the front if you need to micro a little bit. It's just a good upgrade to have, right, at the later stage of the game. When you're getting everything else, when you're affording everything else, I think it's kind of okay to start affording that as well. So Widowmine gets cleaned out by the Disruptor shot. Another couple Disruptors fly. Connected in on a little bit of this bio now. Sound still joined up over on the far left, and we've got Cure poised to maybe make something happen up on the 12 o'clock position as well. So he's settling down. He grabs an Observer out over on the right, and just going to be seeing the Prism of Zoun back down the middle of the map as well. 3 Liberators on the way in from Cure. Just going to be seeing these couple of extra Ghosts coming through. 5 more CCs all on the way in. Alrighty, well, we're both maxed out. I mean, this really is just Q accepting that we're going late game. All of those command centers building right now, and you do see again, Disruptor going to lead down this ramp. Actually going to get good first Disruptor shots, gets a multiple Ghosts. It's actually a good amount of supply that just disappeared. There's an army still here from Zoun defensively, and that's a denial on the 5th command center. So, first attempt of a 5th base here from our Terran player, gets shut down with ease. Yeah, I don't think Kyo is really expecting Zoun to be ready to come down this ramp and make such a play like that. Wow, big play from Zoun, taking a bit of a lead in this now. Is going to go back around the left, picks off another turret. And another one. Gets picked off too. Fire wants to kind of stem forwards. The Zealot Archon trying to come through. And I mean, this army's just never been able to do anything. Because Zoun, I want to say he's almost overcommitted units back at home, but it's a very good overcommitment because he's not been missing them on the offensive side of the map. And he's absolutely just completely denying this drop from doing anything, right? So, yeah, now he's actually going to join everything up together and maybe looking for another push in. He still has these earlier game Phoenix. They actually have some libs they could go and pick off on their own right now. He actually runs into the kind of the Viking force and pick away at a couple of those libs. We're getting to a point where the Liberator count's actually already getting pretty high, so Zoun is not going to risk it. He's going to back it up. He does have a fleet beacon down and, you know, carrier production started, so he's moving to an army that can deal with this later game army of the Terran player as well without any real concerns. Still just moving around the left. Again, another Adept just kind of making their way, or making its way down to the bottom. Picks an Adept on that south side. And again, Vikings, Liberators, all of this joined up together here from Cure. Got a nuke coming out to the far left-hand side. Marines are going to catch that Prism. You take down the rocks on the far left side of this as well. And here comes our nuke lining up. Going for the cannons, the pylon. Boom. There goes a few of those units as we now make our way around the left-hand side still. Army of Cure is going to be trying to see what it wants to get up to right now. The Army of Zoun going to relocate back into the middle of the map. A couple of Archons coming down here. The Zealots. Everybody's going to come through. They're going to start sieging and covering this left-hand side. We continue along. Hallucination gets shot down. Going to siege up another round of these Liberators. Just going to be seeing a couple cannons in some trouble. Disruptor shots fire through. Well, these Liberators are doing some serious damage to start off with. We're not really on the air army of Zoun just yet that I would say is really going to be great at shutting this down, but well, the carriers actually do a good enough job, and the ground army of Kyo here was just not good enough to keep on pushing through, so you just had to back off, and suddenly you lose a lot. Following up from that, Zoun still has so much money in the bank as well. Does he have a prison with this army? He doesn't, right? Disruptors come through. No chance to target fire those down. Hey, this is a problem. These carriers are going to keep on dealing damage throughout this, and I don't see what's going to get on top of those carriers anytime soon. I think Kyo's in some serious trouble here on Death Aura. Interceptors fly forward. They don't do too much. Falling back now, just going to pick away at these rocks, opening up a little bit. And Zoun is just like, cool. I lose out on a bit of ground army, but guess what I can build now? I'm going to build some carriers. And the carrier disruptor combo is really the combination that Terrans do not have a great answer to a lot of the time. I mean, nukes having to be used defensively, not going around the map onto different bases. Sounds just still has a bank to work with here. Now, of course, Kyo is building 7 Vikings at a time. Good round of EMPs. Viking play can absolutely, work on cleaning this out. I'm a little bit worried that Zoun's being so aggressive with what is still just the 2 carriers. I thought this was fine when he came out of a winning fight and he was able to capitalize and deal further damage. Now it's a little tougher. He's also spent a bunch of money on DTs, though, and they're going to blink in, and that's a dead planetary fortress. The Liberator there is just facing the wrong way, and 11 SCVs going down too. These DTs are going to have a field day. No response just yet from Kyo. No units on the way over. It's just this Liberator. If this Liberator wasn't here, those SCVs would be in more trouble, but they know the safe zone. They know where they can hide, and that they will do. It's not worth even just blinking in on those SCVs. I was thinking if you blink all the DTs on the SCVs, you probably get them. You'll probably lose like 4 or 5 DTs in that process. May as well keep them alive. DTs aren't cheap, and keeping them alive just means you don't have to rebuild them now. Doesn't dent into your bank as much. I mean, they're just such a major threat on the map. I told you guys Zoun was comfortable playing these later game situations. He likes to be here, and he's shown us just why, as we're going to see. Well, there's really a lacking Liberator count on this bottom side now, in some trouble. His DTs get scanned, they're going to back away. 1 final kill. Still maintaining a lot, and he does trade out with a bit of bio before that happens, so still don't think it's also bad, as we're going to see 2 more Liberator sieges covering this area. Another disruptor shot flies through. The bio army splits away, gets out of there. Vikings pushing on through this and going to take down a carrier, so we're just going to be seeing the rest of this army of Zoun still backing away up the left-hand side. Then a round of DTs here from Zoun, going to go through the center, over to the far right. Garcel's Tectonic Destabilizers on the way, plus 3 air weapons and the Psy Storm as well. Fire comes through, another DT gets picked off. The Stalker Colossus Carrier Army continues around the left, and we're going to get into a position here. We're going to see a couple of libs in some trouble. I mean, Q at least stabilizing during this. He's still going to be down a lot of bases, right? He's not being able to put anything, good onto the map from his side of things, right? He's not really being able to deny any bases, so that is still the issue. That Zoun's going to have a large bank at any stage of this. And Zoun's army is only getting better with time still, right? With the Storm on the way up. Wow, these DTs actually find an opening. He morphed into Archons. Do you think he was trying to recall that? I feel like the assumption was he morph Archons so that they are tanky enough to recall. Otherwise, you may as well just continue to fight with the DTs, even if they're going to die. Because obviously the Archons just died, but they didn't do any extra damage. So I imagine he was meant to recall and he just misclicked, or he didn't. He has the energy, he had the recall off cooldown, so yeah. It's a little mistake there. Maybe could have saved a couple Archons, but yeah. I mean, more carriers still on the way, 4 more. The higher the carrier count gets, the more worried I'm going to get for Kyo, although he is going to catch the Disruptors in a horrible position. They run through Liberation Zones, and they got EMP'd as well, so they're going to go down. It's a big reset on the Disruptor count, and that might just be what Kyo needs to maybe make some progress. When I say progress, I mean actually being able to take another base. Right now, this one just gets killed off instantly. Diamonds of Death, or Game 1 of what will be our final best of 3 today, as we've got 2 best of 5s to follow this. Beyond versus the winner, and then Solar in the grand finals as well. And still feel like Zoun's got the control of this game, making sure that Q's still on 5 bases. Q's going to keep attempting to re-expand here, but the more defense he puts on this location to take it, the more open other locations are going to be. And Zoun has shown us that he's not afraid to find different places to attack, right? He just sent DTs into this base. That's not a typical location for DTs to go into. But Zoun is capable of finding those openings, and right now he's just going to find an opening right here to come in, and that's the new command center that wants to build up. And he is not going to quite get the kill on it, but some good damage. Vikings are going to give chase here, feeling like they can get a couple of carriers as Zoun tries to exit over to the right-hand side. Move our way up this ramp. These few bio units continue to go down. More of these liberators here just starting to happen. Stalker's coming through. The carriers continue to fight. This is not a good fight for Zoun at all. You know what's probably missing from this? Probably the Storm to actually get rid of these Vikings. You know, he needs to move away from almost the Disruptor army on the ground and go more in towards the kind of the splash damage for the sky. That was a big win for Kira. Zoun went a little bit too far forward this time, and he gets punished for it. Now he does show up on the left side, denies a base again. Where's Kira at in mind? And he's got half a base left here. This base is a little healthier, so this base is going to keep him alive for a while. Stalkers right now are just straight up killing units because there's not enough ground army to protect. The Colossus gets found kind of on its own. Can the Stalkers save it? The Colossus stops running. And the Stalkers eat a whole chunk of EMPs. These Disruptors need to be able to fire. They need to kind of save this position. Super Battery going to try and heal things up. Tempests have just been made, if I'm not mistaken, so they're on their way over. They are going to be the way to break through this Liberator count a little bit more easily. Zoun's going to blink in, take down a couple of these Libs. He needs to make some space. He needs to slow down this push forward. He needs these Tempests to join the fight. He needs to get rid of these Liberators in the back, as here we go. I mean, Tempest joined. The first Storm shows up as well. A couple of Archons coming through. It was just that one Storm. Now it's going to be Stalker Zealots and the Tempest to join in. I mean, there's odds charge through. I'm surprised these Liberators have not been taken down yet and target fired by the Tempest, because I feel like they are causing more problems than anything else. In the end, Cure doesn't have enough army, and Zoun still has the money to rebuild. Cure's economy in comparison just pales. Look at the income graphic and see how much more Zoun is mining. And Cure leaves the game at 22 minutes to a Zoun defense. Wow, what a game was. As we go to the bottom left-hand side of the map, the red Terran player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming down a game is Cure. And having his best run in a WardiTV tournament yet. Top 4 in one of our major events, one of our larger prize pools. Absolutely his best run that we've seen him have in a tournament. It's Zoun in the upper right corner of Pillars of Gold. Alrighty, guys. Game number 2 is going to start off with some proxy racks up to the top side of the map. Cure, you better make this good, because I did not just watch an epic game 1 for game 2 to fizzle out. I'm not having that. There's some rude jokes I could make. I'm not going to make them. I'm sure everyone else can figure them out. This game better be good. Yeah, please, if this game ain't good, you better bring it to game 3, okay? Zoun scouts. No racks in the main. Depot in the mineral line. This is all in. No gas as well. He knows this is a marine proxy. Starts a Zealot immediately. Batteries are going to be important here as well. Additional pylon. Make sure this gateway stays powered. The one thing Zoun doesn't know is exactly what this is. And he's going to scout the wrong way. He doesn't know just how many barracks it is, right? He doesn't know how committed this is going to be. As soon as this Cybercore is done, batteries need to start. You're going to need a battery here alongside... What's he going to do? Second Zealot? Okay, so Zealots are going to buy some time against the initial units. I mean, it's just one of those things where you've got to spend your money on something. At this point, I'm almost surprised that we don't take a second gas, but it's because he's going to build double battery, right? So that's where his minerals are going to go. There we go. 3 SCVs showing up. Probes are going to pull with this as well. These batteries get up. Another pylon as well. I love that. Stalker on the way. No warp gate yet, but you don't need warp gate in this game. You need to defend this right here and now. Extra SCVs have come across the map, so this is all out, looking to break on through. This is where double Zealot's actually going to be fantastic. The amount of tankiness they bring to the table. Batteries are almost ready to go here. Extra probes pulling in. Zoun knows if he just defends, he's going to be good. And he does have the batteries to help him out right now. Probes are being kept alive against these Marines. The bunker is not finished. There's no SCVs left over here. And Zoun is going to take it to the 0 over Cure with the defense. Zoun is going to advance into the lower bracket finals. Top 3 of a WardiTV major event. And he's going to take on Bjorn. We've got a Terran, a Protoss, and a Zerg left standing. Zoun, Bjorn, and Solar is going to be the rest of the day. Ooh, guys.